everyone, and today I'm just having fun in LightWave, and we're getting into what I would call the microscopic world of hypervoxels. This is something that I've enjoyed doing in LightWave when I'm just, bored and kind of just wanting to play around and see what kind of crazy stuff I can come up with. So this is just the latest thing that I did. I'm just going to clear this scene to show you how easy this is. Okay, so what we're going to do is just go to FX, and we just need some particles. So just add an emitter. You don't have to do much here, just give it like we just need some particles. It doesn't really matter what they're doing. So something like this, just something to hypervoxelize. So we'll leave it like that. One of the tricks is you've got to get in close and just reposition yourself so you're actually up in these particles, like, right, something like that. Well, maybe even closer. You're like really in the particle world. Okay, and then since we're dealing with hypervoxels, we've got to go into render, render properties, use legacy volumetrics. Let's go ahead and match our camera perspective right there. We want to switch to VPR. We don't see anything. We'll go to camera view there, and then we'll go to the backdrop. We'll turn the backdrop off. We don't see anything. We go to legacy volumetrics, hypervoxels, double click that, click that, and activate it. Probably the first thing, the reason why the screen's white is that the particles are way too big. So if we just decrease them, you can see them right there, right? So there's a lot to choose from. So usually the first thing I play around with is the size, just to see where we go. But we don't want surface, we want sprite. And then when I'm messing with sprites, usually what I do is I'll increase the slices like that. This is just a fun way to kind of get familiar with what a lot of these settings do. But we'll be messing with procedurals. So one that's kind of fun is this one called veins. It's kind of a cool thing. And we might have to play around with the camera, because really what I'm trying to do is get inside of these voxels. And so I just play around. I might make them bigger. But one of the things you can do is just come in here to color. We'll just set a gradient and just pick a color like something like a red, maybe. And we see the effect right away. And then maybe one more color like a blue or something. And like I said, this gives you a way to kind of experiment with the gradients to see what's causing what. I'm not really seeing any changes on this yet. Oh, there we go. So if I pull it down, I start getting the red in there. So I'm just trying to get some kind of blend of colors here. Okay, so maybe I'll move the camera in a little bit here. So there's no right or wrong. The idea here is that you're just playing around with the look that you can try to get out of this. It's just so many different things that you can come up with. So back to these settings, one that really comes in is the texture amplitude. So sometimes up and down, usually up creates more of an effect. Coverage, let's see. I don't know, it's just you start getting all kinds of, one that we might switch is dented, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, that was probably the one that I really wanted. So let me go back into shading here and mess around with this here. So it's really just playing around with these settings, just kind of one at a time to see what happens and where you end up at. So let's start again on the size. So it's kind of hard for me to see. I don't like this right there. Can't tell if these are big or small. I'm making them pretty big, I think. So here you can just barely, I see them there. So I'm just making them pretty big right now. We can stretch them too. Sometimes that makes a difference. The shading again, we can play around with dragging this and see where we get on our colors, how we like it. That's good. And we can play with the luminosity, drop the opacity, increase our density. And this kind of gives you a ballpark of, it's hard to see, but it's a really kind of a cool looking texture in there. So we can increase our frequencies, power, and that's why I said you just have to kind of come in here and just start playing around with everything. And I think it's just a fun way to kind of experiment. So what I'll probably do is let this render out a little bit and just see what I see and if I like it or not. It's just every time I do it, it's something a little different. I don't know, it's just fun. I noticed that they're selling this blockchain art. I guess if you put it on a blockchain, you can, so maybe up higher, let's see what that looks like. I'm not liking this. I like this, except I don't like this line there. Not sure how to get rid of it. That seemed to get rid of it. Oh no, that kind of got rid of it. But you really get these otherworldly designs as you start playing with these, and some of these look very photorealistic. I've gotten some of the strangest, most bizarre things. They look like organic things. I think this is coming from the size here, so I'm gonna pull that back down and see where that puts me. I'm trying to get rid of this line, and then I think I'd be happy with this. There's no right or wrong with this, really. It's just just really randomly playing around with that almost made it worse with that line. I was trying to get away from these lines. Oh, that got rid of it. So this looks more like a cloud formation, something like that. You just have to keep playing around with it. And of course, if you switch out your texture, you'll get something even weirder. So let's see. Go back. What was I started out with the crumple? It totally changes everything as you go through these. So I don't know if I like some of these tinted. I think it was. Yeah, it is. I guess it's. Oh, I think it was veins. Was it veins? Veins. Yeah, see how different that looks. Isn't that interesting? I'll stay with tinted. So anyway, it's just something to experiment with and see what you can come up with, and then put it on a blockchain. And when you make, I don't know, $69 million or something, maybe, you could shoot me a little, a little donation. Anyway, that's all I had for today. Take care. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.